Hello my friends, welcome back to another slower class. This class is going to be really juicy because we're focusing on deep rest. So we're going to be lying down for most of it. We'll move through a couple of asanas and then we will have a longer shavasana at the end. Now I think in our world we are encouraged to be busy, to be productive and try to smush as much as we can into one day. And I really like this piece of writing from Tess Guinery from the Apricot Memoirs. And in here she says, "The moment we define ourselves by our doings, we have lost our way." And so I think taking a step back, taking some time for slowness and stillness and connecting with the breath, that's going to allow us to connect with the heart and letting that define us rather than the things that we do or how busy we are. If you did end up enjoying this class, we have a full 60-minute version of it down in our Patreon account down below, so I'll link that down there. And if you wanted to bring anything in like a blanket or a pillow for our Shavasana, then please feel free to do so. All right, let's get started on our backs. So when you're ready, just start to lie yourself down on your back. And you might have your legs long here, extending them out, letting the toes and the knees roll out. You might have the feet wide on the mat with your knees bent, with the knees knocking together. So the most important thing is that you feel comfortable. Allow the breath to deepen and to slow. You might even bring one hand onto the heart, one hand onto the belly, and kind of let the breath push out into these hands. And as you exhale, feeling the body drop down, become even more heavy, knowing that the floor is there to support you. And before we begin to move, there's one more poem that I would love to read. We are in the pursuit of openness within a culture often too busy to deal with the honesty of hearts. Beneath us, likely a river of unshed tears, bottled up, held tight, storehouse for years as we grit teeth just getting it done. It's almost as though we are discouraged out of our divine state of creation. I wonder why that is when cascading from that open river is all that is true and noble and lovely. And so by slowing down, can you connect with your heart space? Noticing how the heart feels today and trying to be really honest with it. Oftentimes we can build walls and shields around our heart and often use busyness or stress as a way to push things away, to avoid looking within. So what do you notice when you slow down? And before we begin to move, let's take 2 more breaths. You might draw the knees up towards the chest. Just taking your hands around the shins or your knees and making a couple of rocks from side to side. We'll just use this movement as a way to kind of become aware of how our body feels today, allowing us to find a deeper sense of being and presence here. You might take both of your knees out wide. You could kind of rock them side to side a little bit, creating some space around the hips. And if it feels good, maybe you walk your hands up a little bit higher to kind of the ankles, or maybe to the outsides of the feet if that feels comfortable. Pulling the hands down towards the ground, drawing the knees down, shoulders down to find happy baby. And you could extend one leg out, then bring it back in. Extending the other leg out. Bringing it in, maybe bring both of your legs out, although that tends to feel quite intense sometimes earlier on in our physical practice. So just move with your body. Hug the right knee back into the chest, extend the left leg out long. Pull it in. If you wanted a little bit more, you could try clasp opposite wrists. You could even lift up the chin towards the knee, maybe taking opposite elbows. And you could stay with your head lifted, or you could lie it back down. And that kind of clasp of the elbows is just going to help pull you down a little bit deeper. Take a deep breath in, fill up the belly, the ribs and the chest. Exhale, let it go. Taking the right knee over to the left. Left hand comes around the outside of the right thigh. Right hand extends out to the side. Press the right shoulder down. If you felt like a little bit more, you could extend the right foot out long. Maybe the left hand travels down towards the shin or the toes. Take another breath in. Exhale, you might twist a little bit deeper. And then when you're ready, coming back through center, let's swap to the other side. So let's pull the left knee up into the chest, extend the right leg long on the ground. You might take the hands around the shin. If you want a little bit more, lift yourself up, maybe traveling the hands down towards the elbows and then lying your head back down. Tucking the chin in so the back of the head is long on the ground. Taking one more breath. Releasing the elbows. Take the right hand around the outside of the left thigh and then gently encourage it over to the right. Left hand reaches out and you might stay here, or you can extend the left toes out long as well. Press the left shoulder down. Noticing the space in between the breaths. And then when you're ready, coming back through center, plant both of your feet behind the hips, hands by your sides. Tight the chin in a little bit more and then push through your feet. Take a deep breath in as you lift the hips up. Engage the glutes, press the whole of the foot down. Might stay here, or you could bring the hands underneath your hips, maybe walking the elbows underneath you to kind of lift your hips up a little bit higher. Make sure the knees aren't dropping out to the side. A little bit of a back bend here. Take another breath in. And a breath out, slowly releasing down. Extend your legs out long, and before we head into stillness, let's kind of draw our toes from side to side, quite rapid movements, creating some kinetic energy. Moving the femur bone, moving the knees. You could even shuffle your hips from side to side, maybe move the arms a little bit. And then finding stillness. Now it's a perfect time to grab any props, maybe a blanket or a pillow. Something to cover your eyes as well. And we'll be here for about 4 or 5 minutes. Closing down the eyes. Allowing softness to arrive in the physical body. And as thoughts come through the mind, and just let them pass by with ease. Come back. Come back to your body, come back to your breath, to the space of the heart. Feel into the truth of the moment, where there's nothing to do but to completely rest. Just coming back to the breath. If you did have longer for your practice today, maybe you pause this video right now and just stay in Savasana for a little bit longer. If you do notice that you're feeling really tired and you feel like you want to nod off to sleep, it's a great indication that you should probably have a nap or go to sleep. But if you are ready to finish your practice, slowly, and I really mean it, slowly wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. Try not to open your eyes until we arrive back up in a seat, but take as many movements as you'd like along the way. I thank you so much for resting and practicing with me today. For me, this can actually be very challenging. So if you are also finding this challenging, then I'm with you, I'm here. And just a reminder, if you wanted a longer practice, you have our 60-minute one down below. So I would love to see you over there. Anyway, much love to you. See you soon.